Yeah, that's a great question. So Nashville and country music as an industry and as a genre is particularly focused on storytelling, I think much more than other genres of music. Probably goes back to, being able to tell people stories that weren't able to be told. And to be able to do that, I think you have to be on input a lot. That's why I believe that, discipline and inspiration are connected at the hip. If you're writing every day, you're more likely to hear that conversation in a restaurant that sparks an idea. You're more likely to see a phrase on a billboard. You're more likely to connect with somebody's story. And, we talk a lot about the cliche of, music being the soundtrack to society, the soundtrack to our life. And I think an important part of that is being able to get people's stories out there. And it's addictive. As a country music songwriter, especially because has been over the years so story oriented, it's a powerful feeling to be able to connect with something that someone needs to say and be their delivery device. Mm-hmm. We talk a lot about a hit song a lot of times is this great combination between being able to say something incredibly universal so that no matter the demographic, people can connect with the idea, but you doing it in a way that nobody else has done it, finding those words in that angle that turns a universal subject into a megaphone. And that chase is pretty addictive. Yeah, I think it is striking that balance between being practiced and rehearsed and having a show that makes sense. When you go out and you play, of course, you have sets that are time-based. You're doing a 45-minute set, you're doing an hour set, you're doing a 2-hour show. And if you're smart, you put some effort into the flow of how that's going to be. And that makes the show seem professional. And then the other part of that balance is being able to let the moment take you. So it's striking that kind of fluidity between being, having that static command of what you want to do so that you're not out there just blowing in the wind, but at the same time, you can be fluid. And I think that's true of business in general, right? I mean, you have this kind of static purpose or product or something you're trying to get out there, but you're going to have to be able to blow in the wind a little bit. And so with putting on a good show, it's taking your set out there, but also reading an audience, whether that's tempo and feeling like, hey, we got to speed things up, or wow, these people are really connecting to these songs. Let's go. Let's call some audibles. Let's move some things around. So I guess it's finding, and it's having a good time. I guess all that philosophy aside, it's having a good time. People see you having a good time. And in fact, we've had, audiences that I know didn't necessarily weren't there to see us. Maybe parents drugged them there, or maybe they stumbled into a festival and they didn't know us, and maybe they weren't into our type of music. But if you are having a good time, there's a power in that, I think. Sure. I honestly believe that the skill set of being a longtime commercial published songwriter would transfer over to being a book author. It did not. Maybe the discipline part did. Like, I know how to sit down and not get back up for hours. I know how to write every day. I know how to sit in front of a computer or a piece of blank paper and not scare myself. So those tools transferred over, but none of the others did. And I think the challenge in writing commercial country music is that you have these very static rules, time being the first one. I mean, 2.5, 3 minutes is what you were aiming for, especially if you were trying to get a radio single. Mm-hmm. There were rhyme scheme and rhyme structures, and to some degree, content constraints. So that was the challenge in writing commercial country music, is how do you get this powerful thing across in this very small vehicle? The challenge in writing long form, whether it's a novel or where I started, which was band blogs. So that's kind of what got me into writing books. Was I started writing 800 to 1,000 word band blogs and went, oh my God, I have room. This is great. But I had to learn how to be succinct in 1,000 words, where in 300 words or 250 words or whatever a song might be, 200 words. I had to learn to be complete in short amount. So they're really kind of opposite challenges. So with book writing, it is I guess one of the common denominators is there's a lot of rewriting. If you're smart and you're good at it, you're going to rewrite.